Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Kale.
Coming up on today's episode, we reveal our Fab Five Disney moments in 2022, and we play a round of questions and Peter Pantsers. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Kale, silver and gold, English.
Patrick, and there was Rocket Man trying to get out, and here comes the cliff, and just before the car went off the cliff, he jumped free, and all the kids cheered, but I didn't cheer. I stood right up and started shouting, "This isn't what happened last week. Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie Kazuki."
Wow. Thank you for quoting Misery right here on the holiday episode of Gays Do the D.
It's appropriate, no? So
isn't it just?
Yeah, I need to tell you, it took me probably 20 run-throughs of that to say it without stumbling.
Oh, it was definitely worth it with a question mark at the end of that.
Okay, we're starting early. I get it. Okay, right out the gate.
Fun fact, my kitchen floor is the same kitchen floor that's in the movie Misery, because that's how old my house is, apparently.
Wow. That is that's a fun piece of information to have at your fingertips at a party.
Yeah. I use the word fun real fast and loose around here. Oh, goodness. Well, as we said, it is the holiday episode. Kale, it's the very last episode of 2022.
Yes. Isn't it exciting?
It's very exciting. Episode 210, to be exact.
I did know that. I did. I knew that because it's in the spreadsheet you send.
It is in the show notes.
Yep.
That is true. What are you doing for the holidays, Kale?
So I just last weekend, I know there's three of us current co-hosts that are currently on stage at the moment, right? So JT is with Cinderella and you with White Christmas?
White Chris Smith.
Chris Smith. White Chris Smith. Well, If
right.
Chris Smith and White, I don't know what is. but and then I last weekend had my holiday concert with the chorus that I sing with locally. And so right now I'm sitting down on the couch in the evenings and hope that never ends. And so that's what I plan on doing through the rest of 2022.
You hope that you sitting on the couch never ends, or you hope that your concert never ends?
I hope that me sitting on the couch never ends.
Got it. Fair enough. I believe in you. I feel like you can make that happen.
Well, it's funny because like a lot of this stuff I think that we did like years ago, like I can remember stretching myself really thin with like school and the chorus and whatnot. And I guess there was such a long break from all of that, right? That now it feels like all of a sudden it's too much. And then when I sit down and think about it, I'm like, it's two things. Like you go to rehearsal one day a week, but whatever.
Listen, you're fragile.
Yeah,
you're fragile, Kale.
And so what are you doing for the holidays?
Well, as you said, I'm doing a show right now, which wraps up a couple of days before December 25th, and then straight into completing training for the marathon. And then after the new year, then I'll try to take a couple weeks off and do nothing at all.
I've never really known you to do nothing.
I know. It is kind of rare for me to not have something going on.
You do just about always have something going on. It sounds exhausting. Sometimes just like when I send you a text message that's like, "What's up?" Your response is just exhausting. It makes me want to go to sleep. Not out of boredom, out of utter physical exhaustion.
Yeah. It sounds like our friendship. Very, very exhausting. Very exhausting.
Oh my gosh, out the gate, folks.
Well, listen, it never stops. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. You know?
Okay.
But all that being said, we hope everyone out there is having a very safe, a very fun, a very loving holiday.
Yes.
Before we go any further, though, we do have some sad news to talk about. We're going to talk about it just for a little bit, and then we're going to move on and hopefully uplift our spirits. But for just a moment, we have to pay some respect and pay some time talking about Twitch. If you know Twitch, the amazing dancer who made sort of his debut to the world on So You Think You Can Dance, and he was also a co-host with his wife Allison of the Disney Fairy Tale Weddings. Sadly, he has just recently passed away at the age of 40. Today, in fact, while we're recording this on December 14th. Now, we want to give a fair warning that there is some sensitive material ahead here, but we did want to talk about it on the podcast because I feel like it's very important. I know we all do here at GDTD.
Absolutely, yes.
We don't know a lot of details. As I said, it was just announced today, but we do know, in fact, that it was a suicide that was the cause of Twitch's death.
It sort of goes to show you never know what anybody's going through, you know?
It's true. Absolutely. He always, I remember him very specifically seeing him on So You Think You Could Dance, and just,
yes.
you sort of look at him and go, I know there's something big in him. You know
Absolutely,
what I mean? He just was so talented, so charismatic. So he seemed like such a loving soul. And as you said,
very contagious smile too, you know, just.
Yeah. And as you said, you know, that you never really know what's going on inside of someone. We all have demons, and sometimes they are insurmountable to some people. So we want to take a moment and say, if you or someone you know are having thoughts of suicide or of self-harm or need help in any way, please reach out. Tell someone, tell anyone. If you need to, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
If you are a younger listener or know someone who is an LGBTQ plus youth seeking or in need of any help, you or they can call the Trevor Project at 1-866-488-7386. Or, if you don't want to speak to anyone on the phone, you can text the Trevor Project Crisis Counselor by sending a text to 678-678.
I fully recommend, I tell people this a lot, save those numbers in your phone, everybody. You never know when you might need them or when someone you know might need them. It's just a great resource to have handy.
Yes, absolutely.
So with that being said, we are thinking of you, Twitch, and of course your family, who I can't imagine what they're going through right now. But what a bright light in all of our lives, and what a tragic ending to it all.
So on a more positive note, PK, you were on the latest episode of the podcast Camp Kaiju Monster Movie Reviews.
It's true. Yeah. My very good friend Vincent and his friend Matt are co-hosts of, as you said, Camp Kaiju Monster Movie Reviews. They sort of talk about creature features and monster movies and science fiction movies. Think Godzilla, think The Creature from the Black Lagoon, just kind of any creature movie you can think of, and they had me on to talk about the movie Luca. They wanted to get sort of a different genre in there, and they wanted to talk about a Disney movie, and so they thought of me,
from
and we talked all about. Exactly, they wanted a 5-5 elf's point of view for their holiday episode of Luca.
That's awesome. Did you have a fun time?
I did, yeah. They're a really fun podcast. It's a really cool genre. I actually love monster movies, and so it's fun.
So lightning round, did you have more fun with them than you have with me?
100%, yes.
Okay. All right.
Well,
all right.
You know, they're a little bit slower with the insults, Kale.
No,
so
okay. So getting into some listener feedback.
No, in all reality, Camp Kaiju, go out and listen to them if you are a fan of creature features and monster movies from a long time ago to anything more recent, like Luca, which just came out last year. Give them a listen. You can find them anywhere you listen to us. Basically, if you listen to us on Stitcher, on Apple Podcasts, on whatever you listen to us on, you can find Camp Kaiju, Kaiju.
Luca is such a good watch.
I love Luca.
I do too.
It was fun it was fun to revisit it too, because I know we had reviewed it here on our podcast, and so it was fun a year later to revisit it and discover different things. I had different feelings about the movie this time around.
Oh, you liked it this time?
I liked it last time as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm not as much liking you today, but I did like the movie Luca once again. Well, let's move on, Kale. We have some listener feedback to get to.
All right.
Let's start with @Adventures with Parker, who says, guys, with 3 S's at the end of it, I was one of the 15 who actually saw Strange World in theaters.
Oh my gosh.
Right? It's so good. It has some very interesting messages, a very diverse cast of characters, and some stunning visuals. There's also an openly gay relationship in it. I think Disney really dropped the ball in marketing this movie, but it's very enjoyable and well worth the watch.
They totally dropped the ball in marketing this movie.
I want to know what happened there, Disney.
It makes me wonder, was there something potentially problematic that they were like, oh, we've spent too much money, but we have to... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a reason why this movie was so poorly marketed. I mean, it was poorly marketed.
Yeah, you basically had to like be an audience member in D23 to have seen anything about this movie.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. Other than like people posting stuff on Instagram about how bad the marketing was, that's the most that's the most like buzz I've heard or seen about it.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you for letting us know your thoughts. It makes me want to go see it even more.
Yes, thank you. Same. And moving on, my friend at Jedi Trousers on Instagram, in regards to Waking Sleeping Beauty, very interesting and fun discussion about a great documentary, sort of related, something that really stuck with me from Bob Iger's Ride of a Lifetime book and his understanding that whenever Disney animation does well, Disney as a whole does well. Very much true of the Disney Renaissance and less than the 2010s onwards. That book is actually a good read/listen if you want more Disney CEO drama and gossip. Well, we are always here for the D and the G.
Who doesn't want some hot D and some hot G? You know?
Right.
Who among us?
Right.
I love it. Yeah, I've heard many good things about that book, so I kind of want to, maybe I'll put it on my holiday list of reading materials.
Yes, I'm going to put it on my Amazon wish list that I connect to my OnlyFans, so my mother can see it. And I'm just kidding.
Oh, problematic.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
On your OnlyFans, where you just like make old recipes from
it's just me,
from
it's
the old country.
It's just me. It's just eyebrow tutorials.
I like it. I can't say I'd watch, but I do. I'm happy for you and your journey.
Oh, thank you.
on OnlyFans. You're welcome. Well, thank you for letting us know your feedback from the last episode. We always look forward to that. Moving on to one of our favorite new segments, the I'm celebrating portion of the episode. I feel like I should put like some underscore to this. I don't know.
Yeah, there should be like a great big sort of like a da 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 da, and then a sort of canon. I love the I'm celebrating segment. This is my favorite new thing.
I think I'm going to do the opposite and put no music at all now that you sort of made that suggestion.
Right. Okay, cool.
Stay tuned. We'll see. Well, I'm either going to edit all of this out, the suggestion, or you're going to hear some really fun music underneath this. Who can say? Do you want to kick us off with I'm celebrating this week, Kale?
Sure. So at JW Rinsey is closing up the office this week for 2 weeks in Ireland. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that.
I am so jealous.
Well worth celebrating for sure. At Fun Jeff is celebrating my dad finally figured out how to share PhotoPass photos with us from our August family trip. Well done, Dad.
Celebration.
Yes. Baby steps.
At C_Ross22_. This week is my first week as a Walt Disney World full-time cast member. Congrats!
Ooh,
that's awesome.
Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely. We have at Silent Tommy celebrating my mom's lemon Christmas cookies.
That's awesome. Yes.
I love that.
At Allie_Joy_W, live holiday performances, both for myself as an audience member and my band students. Listen, I owe many penance to Minio band director.
I was just going to say, if you, Allie, God bless, because if you, not only are you a teacher, really, and truly, and you're also teaching musical instruments to children.
My gosh.
God bless. The migraines you must have.
Yes,
you know?
Go Allie.
We also have at Clugger. Clugger. It sounds like a bad word to me. Clugger 25. who are celebrating celebrating my first job. Congratulations.
Yes.
What is your first job?
What's the job?
I noticed, you didn't tell us what it is. Should we not know what it is? That's okay, too.
Let's guess. What is Clicker 25's occupation?
I'm going to go with cat wrangler.
I'm going to say band director.
Oh, same thing. Really the same thing. Mm-hmm.
Okay. At Suddenly Stephanie getting through a chaotic fall. Same. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you mean
Stephanie.
Unless you mean an actual chaotic fall down the stairs. I feel really bad for you. If that did you mean hold on. Do you mean fall like autumn or did you fall? Okay, so now okay. Suddenly Stephanie took a fall. At Clicker 25 is a nurse taking care of Stephanie.
Fantastic. I like that we're now, the new game is to stitch together all of these celebrations and see if we can make a complete story.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, thank you, Stephanie, for letting us know about your great fall, just like Humpty Dumpty, apparently. Yep. Moving on, we have at Jackawalk saying, the end of my first semester teaching. Another teacher. Congratulations.
Yes. We have a lot of teachers.
We have a lot of teachers who are listeners.
At Mrs. Mouse 61, being at Disneyland with my daughter, girls trip. That makes me so happy.
Yes.
Unless you mean trip by... Oh, gosh.
Oh, boy.
I really need more context, guys.
Mm-hmm. Girls do trip, I guess.
Girls do
be
trip.
tripping.
Gosh.
Oh, we're idiots. Moving on. At Danko Direct, a successful opening of my school's Spring Awakening production.
Nice.
Also, God bless you for teaching theater to kids.
I know. Oh my gosh. And Spring Awakening, there's some gnarly music in that. Gnarly meaning
no
like
feet.
Good. It's good, but no small feet at all.
Mm-hmm,
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
At the Disney Parks teacher, who we also still doesn't know what he does, right? We also need to guess his occupation. Fighting the good fight at work and seeing it slowly pay off.
Well done to you. Again, so we have so many teachers amongst us.
Are you fighting the children? Fighting the good fight at work. Disney Parks teacher is fighting children.
Or fighting the television show, The Good Fight.
Oh, that's it. That makes more sense.
You know?
He's really sweet. I bet he would not fight a child.
I don't know. I bet he's got a dark side.
I mean, and I've seen some children that are like whack. You know what I mean? But it's fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you everybody for sending us your celebrations.
Yes.
And we do have one update from last week. Bourbon Plant Guy wrote back into us saying I must have had a typo in my last message regarding what I was celebrating. We've been together 10 years, not 19. So don't worry, you didn't break up anyone, and I'm not celebrating a new relationship.
Oh, see,
fantastic.
Although I thoroughly enjoyed the monologue. Oh, see?
Yeah.
They like our banter. See, we always get so nervous. We get so nervous when it's done. Do they like us?
I don't get nervous. I know they like me. I get nervous for you. I get nervous for you.
I am really, really glad that we did not break anybody up. That makes me very happy.
That absolutely does make me happy. But we're still unsure if Stephanie fell. It was a chaotic fall, or if she was celebrating the autumn time. I don't know.
If there were too many leaves, and it was just too many pumpkins, or if she's a little clumsy. Let us know, suddenly, Stephanie.
Send us an update, Stephanie.
Please.
Well, in celebration of all of our teachers who wrote into us, Kale, I am going to put on my teacher hat and move us right into This Week in Disney History. Wow. Finally some truth from you. Finally an honest moment from Kale.
No, I love it. This is my favorite part.
Not at all true. But here we go. This is a really good one, actually. For the first time in forever, it's a good one. So, starting out with the birthday, 70 years ago, born on December 19th, 1952, screenwriter, playwright, and novelist Linda Wolverton was born in Long Beach, California. Now, for Disney, Wolverton wrote some pretty big hits, including The Lion King, both the original animated movie and the 2019 remake. She also wrote both Maleficent and Mistress of Evil. She wrote the live-action Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. For Alice in Wonderland, she became the first woman with the sole writing credit on a film that grossed more than $1 billion. But most significantly, and on Disney's part, I have to say, maybe a little embarrassingly, she was the first woman ever for Disney credited with writing a feature-length animated movie, and that movie was Beauty and the Beast, which then, of course, became the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. Then she wrote the book for the Broadway adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, which got her nominated for a Tony Award, and that year she won the Olivier Award for it.
Very nice. Look at her.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes,
yeah.
Doing it for herself. Yeah.
You better saying that.
Right.
But, I mean, come on, Disney. It took until 1991 to have a woman credited as writing a movie for you?
That, I'm also shocked. I mean, I know that at this point, the live-action Alice in Wonderland is no longer, like, new, but it actually is shocking to me that she was it took that long for a film to gross over $1 billion that was written by a woman.
Yeah. Crazy
That's actually
town.
insane.
But well done.
Yes, well done.
It is insane. Yeah, I mean, there are not enough female writers out there.
No.
I mean, well, there are many female writers out there.
There's too many.
There are not enough. Okay. There are not enough who are given the chances to write a movie.
Yes, I agree. They're not afforded the correct opportunities.
Exactly. So congratulations and happy birthday, Linda Wolverton. Moving on, 19 years ago, also on December 19th, 2003, the animated short Destino was released into theaters. Now, Destino originally went into production in 1945. It was a collaboration between Walt Disney and surrealist artist Salvador Dali. Animator John Hench, along with Dali, storyboarded the film and shot all of 18 seconds of it before the project was scrapped due to financial turmoil caused by World War II. So fast forward to 1999. While working on Fantasia 2000, Roy E. Disney discovered the unfinished project and decided to complete it. He worked with the animation department in France at the time, who pieced together what was already shot with the notes and storyboards from Hench and Dali and completed the now 7-minute short. Images and themes from the short were later used as the artistic inspiration for the Grand Destino Tower at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort.
Well, happy birthday to whatever that is. Have you seen it?
Yes, it's actually a really beautiful piece.
Well, I have to watch it. I have no idea what that is.
Wow. Okay. Maybe you should join a different podcast then instead of the Disney one. Camp Kaiju. Are you hiring?
Is that the one with the man playing chess with himself?
Oh boy. And with that was This Week in Disney History.
Bye.
And next on the news, Kale is fired. The Run Disney 30th Anniversary Marathon Weekend is just around the corner, starting this January 4th, 2023. If you've ever participated in a Run Disney event, you know exactly how important the volunteers are to each event. If you don't know, Disney and the participants of Run Disney rely heavily on volunteers to basically run the show leading up to the event, during the event, and after the event. When you pick up your race bibs and shirts at the expo, you are usually receiving them from volunteers. Volunteers are there to hand out water and food along the courses and after the run. They are the ones cleaning up empty water cups, discarded clothing, and Mylar wraps. They are assisting with first aid along the course. They are cheering on the runners, and they are the ones handing out medals at the end of each race. The volunteers are literally with you every step of the way. As a thank you for volunteering, Disney historically has given each volunteer a full-day park ticket for each event they volunteer for. In my opinion, this is the least they could do, as these are the very best race volunteers around. This year, however, apparently Disney is saying, on your mark, get set, no. In an unexpected turn of events, without warning, following the Wine and Dine 2022 half marathon weekend, volunteers were instead given a half-day theme park ticket. Now, I wanted to bring this up in the news as an example of what I hope Bob Iger will help change within the company. So yes, these amazing people are volunteers, which inherently means that they are doing this without compensation. And for most folks, I imagine the ticket was just a bonus, right? But with that, I also imagine there are also some families who maybe made it their tradition to volunteer together and then be able to enjoy a day in the parks together when they otherwise may not have been able to afford to do so. Also, let's remember that Run Disney is a for-profit event,
Yep.
right? Yes, there's a charitable component to it, but Disney does profit off of this, and it would not happen without the volunteers. All this to say, cutting perks like this to people who are working for free seems like a horrible PR move, and one that we have come to sadly expect as of late under Bob Chapek. To that, I say, pull it together, Disney, and to all of the volunteers out there, know that you are appreciated beyond measure, and I guess this time around you are appreciated beyond a half of a day measure.
I have to completely agree with you. Keep in mind, I have not done as many Run Disney events as you have. The one that I did do was a marathon weekend race. And the volunteers, I mean, it's insane. Like the amount of work that they do. Come on.
And they're incredible, too.
They're
like
amazing.
They're not just sort of standing there. I mean, I guess maybe there are some, but the ones that I've always encountered, they're having fun, they're cheering you on, they're there for a purpose.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yes. Do better.
Do better, Disney.
The closing date has been announced for Walt Disney World's Splash Mountain. On January 23rd, 2023, the exact 4-year anniversary of my bout with intestinal colitis and my own personal Splash Mountain, the ride will officially begin the refurbishment and transformation into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. About time, said my niece, Sadie. I don't even know what the old one is, proving that against previous and freaking weird controversy, Disney has made the right decision. I don't know what Splash Mountain or Tiana is, but do you have a phone charger on you? Said my unemployed neighbor, Rose. Disney also released new concept art for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, as well as scene descriptions. The new ride is expected to open in 2024, 6 years after my food poisoning from Cajun shrimp pasta that sent me on my own Bayou adventure.
Okay, again, helpful information here on the news. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I apologize that you are going through such intestinal distress, but this is exciting news, though. I'm very excited that they have some opening dates.
Me too.
Hopefully you don't have a new opening for you.
Who
Kale,
knows?
In which, yeah.
Right. No,
Okay.
so this is amazing. I'm absolutely stoked for this. As far as everything in the parks going on in 2023, this is probably like a highlight for me as far as like wishful thinking, like looking forward to that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is something very much like I think all of us are. If you're not excited about this, then you're doing it wrong. And I don't usually love that phrase, but you really are doing it wrong.
I love that
you
phrase.
aren't excited.
I love that. Yeah, you're doing it wrong. I'll say it twice so Patrick doesn't have to. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I got you.
Kale, it is the last episode of 2022.
Are you sad?
I'm I don't know. I don't know how I feel about 2022. What a weird year. I mean, that's every year is,
Listen,
I guess. But.
Yes. 2022 was 1000% a transition year for the entire world. It was Earth's transition year.
It's
back
true.
into something. I don't, because it still doesn't even really feel like reality.
It's true. 2022 got a little bit of a makeover. I can't call it a glow up though. I really can't. I don't know.
No, it was like a glow up, and then for a little while there in the middle, it was like we slept in our makeup and woke up and tried to pass it off as fresh. And then, yeah,
very, very that. It's been, I guess, like once fall hit, I feel like the rest of 2022 went by like crazy town quick.
It absolutely did.
But it's been a long year, though.
No, you're not lying. But I agree with you. It seemed like, honestly, January to May could have been a full year in itself. And then the summer was equally just as long. And then all of a sudden it was like August, and now it's Christmas.
Absolutely. So so on today's episode, we're going to end it with some questions and Peter Pantsers, but we wanted to celebrate 2022 and do a Fab Five moments, Disney moments for us of 2022. And I have to say, when looking back, I was like, all that happened in one year.
Same. When I was actually trying to like research things, like to put on this list, I was shocked at how much happened this year.
And not only so many things that happened within the company, but like things that we also did personally as two people who love Disney, as the podcast goes, it's been a long, eventful year.
Yep, it has.
And thank goodness, because we're going to list our Fab Five moments from 2022. And boy, was it tough to narrow it down to just 5 things.
It absolutely was. And I was drunk doing mine, so twice as tough, legit.
Great. I'm drunk right now, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how this goes.
I've been sober also since August.
I mean, you and the rest of the country, I feel like. But we're gonna mix things up a little bit this time for our Fab Five, and we should mention your first Fab Five on the podcast,
it is.
Kale. Very exciting.
It's really nice to have first with some things still.
And Fab Five is, I think, our very first episode, or one of our first segments was a Fab Five. So this is like tale as old as time for Gays Do the D. It's in the pocket.
This is a, what do you call it? An old faithful.
An old faithful. It's that favorite Christmas ornament that you bring out and you take very good care of every time you do it.
Yep. It's the turtle doves.
Is that from Home Alone 2?
It is from Home Alone 2.
Well done. But now that we say that, we actually are going to flip it on its head a little bit and tell you all that we are still doing Fab Five, which is an homage, if you don't know, to the original Fab Five within Disney: Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, and Goofy. But this time, instead of like ranking them from our bottom 5 to the top one that we celebrate the most, we're just sort of giving you 5 things that all held equal weight for us this year.
Yes, 5 golden rings.
5 golden rings. I like Fab 5 golden rings. I like that.
Yeah.
It feels like it needs a chime here or something.
I know. I feel like we came up with that way too late.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, just now in the middle of the... Oh, well, next time.
Next year.
Yeah.
We'll have it prepared. Great. Stay tuned, everyone.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Kale, this is your first Fab Five, so I want to give you the honor of choosing. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll gladly go first.
All right. Kick us off with one of your Fab Five moments of 2022.
Okay, so I'm going to give a tiny bit of context. So you know, because you've been on rides with me before, right? That it's an adventure upon itself. I'm not the greatest with rides.
Fair.
And I know that you personally were not a diehard fan of this ride, but I have to say one of mine was Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
I love it. I have to just defend myself as coach. I wasn't not a fan of this ride. I only got to ride it once though, and I still don't know what happened on the ride because I was so frightened.
You're not wrong. It's so I don't know if that's why I liked it, because I really am scared of most rides. And this one is, I mean, it's so intense, but I don't know if I was so mesmerized by everything going on that I just didn't have time to be scared, or maybe I'm growing as a person, maybe both. You know, maybe it's a whole new me. But I don't know. There was something about this. It, like, to me, it is just pure fun.
Yeah.
Like beginning to end. And I mean, everything going on around you and me and the Steamboat Willies on it and all three of us, screaming our heads off with whatever very unfortunate person got sat with the three of us by pure unfortunate chance.
Yeah.
But I would have to say that was definitely a highlight. Probably just because it's so random that I enjoy a roller coaster. And that is a roller coaster.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I can call it a roller coaster. It's such a weird experience. I'm like, are we going up? Are we going down? I don't know.
Right. I know. And then I still don't know. I know you and I can tend to banter back and forth and make this episode 3 hours. But I still am not 100% sure if the cart turning, if that's intentional movement or if it's simply momentum. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we turn because of the momentum of the roller coaster, or are we turning because the track causes us to, like, it's supposed to turn? It's amazing. If anybody knows the answer to that, please let me know.
I bet you there's an Imagineer out there somewhere.
It keeps me awake at night. Yeah.
Fair enough. No, I love this. I love that you started out with a crazy roller coaster. As a lot of people know, I'm not the biggest fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, but you don't have to be a fan of this ride.
You absolutely don't. No, I'm not they're going to come for me. The children are going to come for me. But I'm actually not a diehard Avengers fan like the whole Marvel type. It's not, I don't dislike it by any means. I enjoy every movie that I watch. It's just not something that I like intentionally seek out, right?
That's fair, yeah.
But I really, really do love the innovation that went into this ride.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We say it a lot on this podcast, but it's definitely a game changer of a ride of like what are they going to do next? Like, how, if this is where we are now, what's tomorrow?
Right.
Yeah. Well done. Great choice. Way to kick us off with a good one.
Okay, it is your turn, PK.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to start out with an event that happened for a lot of people, but one that I attended this year and put Gay Days 2022 in Walt Disney World on my list of favorite things that happened this year.
Well, very nice.
Thank you.
I wonder,
thank you.
That's funny because I'm just like looking at my Google Calendar. It doesn't look like I got an invite.
We're going to move right past that because I think you changed your email on purpose so you didn't see the invite. And I would not be shocked by that. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. No, but that's amazing. That's also a really, really good one.
Thank you so much. I just feel like
give me like one or two highlights that you did on that trip.
I was about to, and then you interrupted me. But so
real quick though, just give me like one or two.
It's gonna be a long segment. No, it was. Here's what I loved about Gay Days this year. Well, I got to host the Enchanted Pride at Splitsville Luxury Lanes with our friend Chris from Wishful Thinking. That was just an amazing opportunity to meet a lot of our listeners, our Tweedles. We got to give away a million prizes. I feel like we raised almost $1,000 for Equality Florida. It was an amazing event. But beyond that, also Gay Days this year felt like a step in the right direction for Disney, for Orlando specifically in Disney. We know this was a tumultuous year specifically for Orlando when it comes to gay rights, and Disney took a step further this year with their Pride events in actually calling it Pride this year. I think for the first time ever. It was really great. It was all over the parks. You couldn't miss it. Cast members were saying Happy Pride. It was just, you really felt welcomed and encouraged to celebrate Gay Pride this year in the Disney parks. Yeah, it was great. And so I really hope Disney keeps running with that, and I'm excited to see what's to come for Gay Days within the parks.
Same. That's a good one, PK.
Thank you so much.
Okay, it's my turn again.
It is your turn. You're number 4, although not number 4 up in the ranks. Just
number 4, right? Counting down. Just number 4, counting randomly down.
Or we'll call it your next one is.
My next one is. Okay. So this one I debated on even putting on here because I know technically this is actually like a gigantic event that is happening in the coming year. But I decided I was going to commit to it and put it on this list, and that is the Little Mermaid trailer.
Oh, I mean, that was an event, though.
Yes, absolutely it was.
Yeah.
I know that might be like cheating, but
Absolutely
you know,
not.
No, I mean, I can remember, I can remember being in this room and watching it, and then immediately calling you and being like, or FaceTiming you, and you were like at a bar with like, you know, like you. I mean, you were gone. You were 3 sheets to the wind.
I don't think
you probably
this
don't
was
even remember, do you?
Okay, I don't think this is true, but okay.
No, I did call you immediately and was like, have you
Yes.
seen it? And then, yeah, but that to me, it completely changed my mood for a while. Like, just gave me something to look forward to and just such hope. And then there were so many great things that followed, all these TikTok videos of these little girls seeing an Ariel that looked like them, and it just made you happy, dang it. And so that to me is way up there.
That's a great one. I really love that. It's such a short moment in time can make such an impact. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I also really, really like that they didn't sort of like pull our chain with the trailer. We got a full look at her. We got to hear her voice. We got to see her swim. Like it wasn't like her face behind a door. Cause for a brief minute when watching the trailer, I really did think when she peeked out behind the door, that was all we were really going to get.
Yeah.
But I mean, they really gave us what we wanted, and it was perfection.
I think so too. You know what? It kind of reminded me of like, and I can't give it as much weight, but go with me on this journey. But
Sure.
I remember what I was doing the day Beyonce's Lemonade album dropped.
Oh,
right?
Okay. Listen.
Do you know what I mean when I say this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I remember sitting on the couch and losing every gay nerve in my body. I'm not kidding. I remember. Yes.
It was such a moment, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when this trailer dropped, it was such a cultural moment that it broke the internet up for a little bit. It was incredible. So
Yes.
yeah, I don't know if it's
Ariel in that trailer said everything. She said, hold up. She said, boy, bye. She said, come on, merfolk. Now let's get in formation.
She did.
Everything. She
yeah.
did.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. Great choice.
She said,
excellent.
6-inch gills.
Wow.
Did you like that?
I did.
That was
you were
fresh off the top
you
of
were
my head.
Working for that, though. And well done on you.
Okay, your next one.
No, I have to pause. That was a great one. Well done on you.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
So my next one actually happened at the same time as your last one, and I'm just in general my first D23 experience. I have to add to my list.
Yeah. Everything that you've shown me and told me, that I'm not assigning it a number, but I bet it is up there on the list.
I mean,
but we
it
don't
was
have to talk about it.
No, we sure don't. No, it was such an amazing time. I had never been before, so it was my very first D23 experience. It was also the first D23 back from the pandemic, so it was it was the first time they could bring it back, which was amazing. There were so many wonderful announcements that happened. For me, like seeing the Muppets was one of my most memorable experiences within Disney ever. I love them so much. A huge part of my childhood. Also, you know, they dropped the trailer for Little Mermaid during D23.
Yeah.
So many amazing moments happened this year. I got to hang out with some of my very best friends going to Disney with. I would not have changed it for the world. So D23, if you have not been, go. The next time it's available, you will not regret it. I think it's going to be even better next time because Bob Iger will be there.
That's right. And probably once again, don't make me sing Jodie Benson.
She's already there. She's already rehearsing and warming up for it.
Right. She doesn't even know what they're going to have her sing. She's just rehearsing all the songs.
She's got it all. She's got the whole collection.
Right. We're not bashing. We love her. We just get it.
Adore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good one.
Thank you.
Okay. So my next one would have to be my time on the Disney Wish. I know it was very recent, but that for me, and let me tell you, this is gonna sound super, super personal, but you know, for 2022 is the first year that I've had a full-time job since graduating college. This was the first vacation that I really got to fully pay for. And that meant a whole lot to me.
I love that.
Getting to take Steve on vacation and buy drinks for the Steamboat Willies and, and so that'll always be really special that it happened with them, all of them, on the brand new Disney Wish.
I love it. And the way that you described it, so listen back, what was like 3-4 episodes ago, maybe 3 or 4, I can't remember. It's been a long year. But the way that you described it, and listening to the feedback that we got from the episode, you inspired a lot of people to want to go on a Disney cruise trip as well.
It's funny. I feel like I inspire people all day, every day, and I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get what it is about me that's inspirational and like influential.
Same.
But I mean, people, they can't get it. It's all I hear. It's literally all I hear. I get 100 emails a day, 90 of them.
I'm cutting all of this, right? I'm cutting all
that's
of
fine.
this.
I hope you do.
Just kidding. We're keeping it in so everyone knows what a monster you are.
Okay. No, but I really, really am glad that I did inspire some people to take a Disney cruise. It really is a great experience, specifically with people that you love and enjoy being around. But that one will always be special. It was the first one that I got to, slowly pay off on a credit card and panic about at night, and and so it'll always be special in that regard.
I love it. I have to go on a cruise at some point.
You should absolutely go on a cruise some point. Where would you want to cruise to?
I don't know, probably my backyard, I think.
Okay.
That's as much energy as I have these days, I think, right now. But
no, I will say, like, getting on the cruise is probably the most exhausting part. Like driving, getting down there, getting on. Once you're on the boat, it really is a breeze.
Yeah, fair. I just need a parent or guardian to go with me, so I have to find that first.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, before I go on a cruise, I'm going to go to my next Fab Five moment of 2022 and talk about the movie Better Nate Than Ever. I feel like for me it's such a moment in my life. I don't know why. That movie changed me, and I've watched it 300 times since it came out, I think, on Disney Plus. Kale is flabbergasted right now for some reason.
No, this is amazing. I cannot believe I didn't think of that. Of like as many things, like, because to me that also seems like it was not this year. But what a great one! What a great film.
I mean, this movie, like, was it a perfect movie? No, but that is not the point. The point of this movie, for me anyways, is what an amazing stamp from Disney to go, you know what? We are putting this movie out here with an openly gay boy who loves musical theater.
Yes.
It spoke to so many people out there, me very specifically. It was such a cultural moment, I feel like, and a leap, a jump in the right direction for Disney, for movies in general.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, I was so proud. 100%.
I was so proud to be a part of the Disney community when that movie came out.
Very much so. I will agree completely. It did. Yeah. It gave you a sense of pride to watch it and know what you were supporting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a really good one, Patrick.
Thank you. I know. That's why I put it on my list.
It's better than all three of mine so far.
I don't know if that's a fact, but yeah, it was just, I get emotional every single time I even think about that movie. The songs are so good. Like, the cast was so good. The story was so good. I just loved it. I loved it from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's a really, really great movie. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that was on your list. Very much so.
Go see it if you haven't yet. It's on Disney Plus right now. Kale, we are at our, penultimate?
I believe so, yes.
Choices. All right, let's get into it.
Okay. My next one is joining the GDTD podcast.
Aw, I love that.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy to be doing this with you more frequently now. I know that we did an episode in 2021 where we covered Emperor's New Groove, and we had a great time doing it. And I always was a fan of listening to you and Adam, but I'm even a bigger fan of listening to you and me. And
think we know which part of that you actually are a bigger fan of.
No, but truly, I mean, I tell you this every time after we record that sometimes, no matter how the week is going, this is just, it's such a refresher. I really feel like I just feel sort of like cleansed somehow and ready to finish the week. And I absolutely love doing this with you. I adore JT and Ryan. And this has been really, really awesome. I'm very thankful to be a part of this podcast and all the great things we do.
Well, I'm thankful, and I'm sure our Tweedles are as well, that you and Ryan and JT have joined. I'm just going to join you in this and add on, because my next one was kind of the same thing. So let's just talk about it together, I guess.
Sure.
And I'll expand that word a little bit and just say what we've been calling GDTD 2.0, right? Has sort of been a highlight as well. And I do want to put an addendum on that, because I in no way mean I am anywhere near glad of the change that Adam is no longer part of the podcast, because I hope and I think and I pray that he'll come back someday and join us, because I just wish that he could be here for this adventure of 2.0, because it's been turning into something that I didn't even expect. We sort of were flying by the seat of our pants on figuring out how this looks in with a different lens, right? With new hosts, with some new segments happening, with just some new energy going on, and we have gotten nothing but great feedback on it. So hopefully we'll continue that momentum going forward in 2023. Yes,
I hope so too.
Yeah.
And I hope that soon the four of us get to take a trip together.
That's true. We've been thinking about it. We've been tossing around the idea of having sort of a GDTD offsite, if you will, and getting together, a retreat maybe, and planning some more things for all of you. And in the GDTD 2.0, I also include, we've gained so many listeners. We've also gained so many Patreon members out there. We had our first Patreon party, which was amazing to meet a lot of you. It's been
so much fun. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this community, specifically the listeners of this podcast, are some of the most supportive people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. So thank you very much.
Right, absolutely. And I guess when we say that we're not ranking these, I mean, that I think clearly for us, though it's not the last one we're talking about, probably rings higher than the rest of them in what brought us joy this year in regards to Disney and the podcast.
Very much so.
Well, I like that. I'm glad that we were on the same page there. Which brings us back to you, your final 2022 moment, Kale.
Okay. So I'm going to try not to get emotional, but so I know that 2021 was sort of a very different year for Disney parks, in large part because everything looked a little different. Everything sort of operated a little differently. But this year, me and the Steamboat Willies went back to Walt Disney World, and it seemed a little bit more routine. And so I put on my list back to Disney with the Steamboat Willies, just because it was the first trip since, I guess at this point, early 2020 or late 2019, where we really just got to go and be authentically the three of us like we used to be. And it was, every part of it just felt old home week, Yeah. And I think that was probably the most special Disney moment of the year. Just being there with them like we used to be, and, having fun, enjoying ourselves, belly laughs, lots of alcohol,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I would say that this year it definitely felt like home.
I love that. I think that's a great sentiment, and I totally understand what you mean. I fully agree with you. Yeah, this year being in the Disney parks has you're right, has felt a little bit more like, I don't know, I hesitate to use the word normal, but it's felt a little less encumbered, I guess, by
very
other
much
things.
So. That's exactly how I would describe it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Yes. And I think what you've been saying, like, part of that experience has just been spending that time with the people that you love too, and like rekindling and refreshing those old memories again is you can't put a price on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even going in 2021 when it was still an amazing time just to be back. Like I remember the first time driving through the gate for having not gone for a year, and so it was, even that feeling was exciting, but just the concept of, again, I don't like to use the word normal because first of all, I refuse to believe that we're completely out of this, right? Because we're not. And, things could change at any moment. But the fact that there's, I would say, a sight in the distance of normalcy, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's very comforting.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I like that word. Yeah, comforting is a great term to use because we all want that. We're all missing that, and I think,
yes,
strangely, like even with the return of Bob Iger, things are maybe starting to feel even a little bit more comfortable again. We're feeling welcomed back into the community again.
For sure. I would say yes. Like it doesn't feel, it's not as bitter of a sting when you see a Disney charge on your credit card as it was for a little while. And so, yeah.
Fair enough. That's great. That's wonderful. I like that you said that. Well done, Kale.
All right, PK, your last one.
Well, mine's a little less emotional than yours is, Kale, but nonetheless, I feel like it's going to be...
Can I guess it? Can I try and guess it?
Sure. What do you think it is?
Munchlings.
Wow.
Is it?
You're right.
Is it Munchlings?
It's the Munchlings. The Munchlings was my... Yeah, absolutely. I've turned the ship around on that one. I'm now a huge super fan of Munchlings. Can't get enough of them. Are they a thing anymore? Are they around still?
Do you want to know? No, I don't. If you know that Munchlings are still a thing or not, please let us know at info. I'm just kidding.
Please let us know. I'm surprised you know our email address. That was really impressive.
Well, I am a co-host of this podcast.
You are.
PK.
It's true. It's true. It was on our list of things that we're grateful for. So, all right. But the last item I'm going to talk about is the release of Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever.
100%. I knew that was yours.
I'm such a fan of this franchise. The Black Panther series is so incredible, and go back a couple episodes and listen to our review with Ryan on it, which was one of my favorite movie reviews I've ever done. Talking to him about Black Panther was so insightful and enlightening, and it was just a wonderful conversation. And I think that's what this movie did to a lot of people. It started some conversations that a lot of people maybe weren't having yet, and were not used to hearing about, and didn't see these stories playing out on the big screen the way that Black Panther did a couple years ago. Black Panther 2 blew that up even further this time around, and I applaud everyone who worked on that movie, and I think it was just such a wonderful accomplishment, and I think we'll look back on this movie and Black Panther, but this movie very specifically, on the contribution it did culturally.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am one of the only people that has still not seen Black Panther 2, but I was a huge fan of the first one.
Yeah.
And I mean, the talent alone in those films, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also very glad that was on your list.
Thank you.
As soon as I see it, I will give you a full report.
I hope you do. We'll give you a full episode, just you talking about it.
Oh, nice.
It'll be
That's
great.
My dream. That's my dream.
That's my nightmare. So we both are asleep while it happens. So it's great.
Right.
It's fantastic. Yeah, no, this movie, just from top to bottom, as I said, the cultural significance of it, but also just artistically, it is so perfect from beginning to end. It's so beautiful. The music, the art direction, the acting, the direction, the story. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful movie. So I am very grateful this came out this year. I think it was much, much needed, much anticipated. And if you haven't seen it, like Kale, you are doing it wrong to bring it back again. We're bringing it back.
See, he specifically said he didn't like saying that.
I know.
And here we are.
But, sometimes you got to call a spade a spade.
Okay. Patrick.
Yes, Kale?
I think we did really good with our Fab Fives of 2022.
I really enjoyed that list. That was a fun conversation. It was fun to hear what was on your mind in 2022, for sure.
Yeah. Was this your favorite Fab Five probably you've done?
In no way. In no way was it my favorite. But but it was fun. It was cute. It was a cute time.
Yeah, it was cute. It was cute.
But before we move on, we do want to hear all about your Fab Five moments in 2022 when it comes to Disney. So we'll say it again at the end of the episode, but let us know on the socials at GDTD Podcast, or leave us a voice memo or email at info@gazetothed.com. And before we close out and head into Quick D, we wanted to do a few questions and Peter Pantsers. We haven't done one in so long, we thought, let's just tack this on. Let's make it a fun, longer episode. Although when Kale and I are involved, it's always a longer episode.
I know. I know. We need feedback from that. Do you guys like that or hate that?
Oh, we know the answer.
Let us know.
But a lot of you wrote into us, but we're just going to read maybe two, Kale? Should we just pick our top two in that list? Not our top two, but we'll just randomly select two?
Okay, sure.
All right. Do you want to read the first one, questions to Peter Pantsers, from our Tweedles?
Sure. So, at AEvens16, you have to move one U.S. park to another state, not California or Florida. Which park and where? I have said this one before. Not in the questions in Peter Pantsers, but I've said that I would move it to metropolitan Atlanta.
Okay, great.
Yes, and I stand firm in it.
Because you live close to it? Is that the only reason why?
Yeah. Literally, that's it.
I mean, weather-wise, it would be an ideal place to be.
Oh, incorrect.
Oh.
Atlanta is scorching hot and there's no Gulf breeze. I joke when I say I would want one in Atlanta. I actually think would be cool to have one up like your way, like Minneapolis. And
it would,
instead of the Buddy statue, it's Mary Tyler Moore throwing Mickey in the air.
It would be cool to have it here. However, it would be an unusable park most of the year because of the snow and the cold.
Oh well.
Okay. If I'm answering in real life, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Georgia might be a good option to move it to.
Give me a park where I can actually physically wear the Spirit jersey you're trying to sell me. I'm not going to wear it in Florida. I'm not going to California. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I'm just kidding. But seriously, give us a park somewhere where the weather's a little bit cooler, a little bit nicer. Maybe some snow on a castle. That would be gorgeous, but we don't know what it looks like.
Fair. Okay. So if you all know of a good place that's a little bit in between cold and hot, somewhere where you can wear a Spirit jersey, let us know.
Please.
At AE Evans 16, I'm really sorry we did not answer your question at all.
We sure didn't. I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. Kale thinks this is Quick D, but it's not. We're actually answering these questions in real life.
Oh, you're correct. You're correct.
I know that I am.
Supposed to... Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, boy. Oh, what a great way to end out the year. What a great way. Okay, so our next question then comes from at Irving.Virgin asking, what non-musical Disney property would you give a Broadway musical to and why? That's a really fun question.
That's a really fun one. Okay, I'm going to think legit.
Yeah.
Oh, Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting.
Hands down. Yeah.
That'd be a tough one to do on stage, but I mean, it'd be fun to see.
Oh, I mean, it would be a tough one to do, but I feel like done correctly, it could be visually stunning.
Yeah.
Done incorrectly, it could be Little Mermaid, the musical 2.0.
Wow. I was about to say Sword in the Stone, but there are songs in Sword in the Stone. So would you consider Sword in the Stone a musical?
I guess if we're being technical, because the question says non-musical, but I don't really consider it a musical, Sword in the Stone. I mean, like how often do you get in the car and like bop to Mad Madam Mim? I don't know.
No, it's true. So
I'm going to give you full permission to say Sword in the Stone.
Thank you so much. I'm going to say Sword in the Stone needs to be a musical, or at least if it's not going to be a musical, I fully endorse this turning into and this is coming from me, who doesn't endorse live action movies made from animated movies.
Right.
I think Sword in the Stone could be a bomb live action movie.
Oh, it absolutely could be. I completely agree.
So whether or not you throw music into that, again, we're not answering your question at all, Irving. But I would say Sword in the Stone is my answer for both. Turn it into a live action and/or a musical.
All right, everybody. So you now know where we don't know we would put a park and what musical we don't know would go on Broadway.
This was the most unsuccessful Questions and Peter Pantsers that's ever happened, and I'm so glad to have done it with you, Kale.
Same. Just when listening to this part, just please remember how good we were at Fab Five, and try and focus on that. That we're not an A+ everywhere, but you know.
Fair enough. But thank you for sending it. Thank you for sending us your questions. If we didn't answer your question this time, and there were many that we didn't answer, we are saving them for another time when maybe all four of us are involved. That you can hear all of our answers at the same time. But
yes.
Keep them coming in. So if you have more questions for us, and again, if you want to send us your Fab Five lists for things that happened in 2022, you know what to do. You can send them to us at GDTD Podcast on the social media, or you can leave us that voice memo or email at info@gaysdothed.com. So I have to know, Kale, I'm sure that there are many, but what are one or two things that didn't make your list this time around for Fab? Oh boy. Wow. For Fab Five things that happened in 2022. Iger. Wow.
Bob Iger.
Real quick.
It was Bob Iger, and then I almost put Young Roy, but didn't.
Wow. Because he did not happen in 2022.
He didn't.
As it happens.
I tried to justify it, but...
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mine was just sort of the drama of it all in 2022.
Yeah.
Lots of drama.
Yes. You know what? It's crazy to think that, like, what if one day, being totally serious, there's a documentary made of all the drama that's happening in 2022, and they use snippets of you and I, and they're like, here's a crazy old man and his kid discussing the... Do you know what I mean?
And you figure out which one's the kid, because who can say? Who can say?
You would be the kid. I would definitely be the crazy old man.
Oh, fair. Just because of height alone, and the crazy factor. Okay.
And they would use that one picture of us at the park where I'm towering over you, like it.
I know.
We sort of look like Jack Skellington in Zero.
Well, I was going to say like an evil stepmother and the mouse and the mouse.
Yes. Perfect. Hey, Patrick. That's typically how you always...
Kale.
Yeah, that's how we always get into this. Are you ready for Quick D?
No, I never am.
No?
Never, ever am. No, of course.
Do you remember the one episode where you kept doing your Cher impression?
Nope, I sure don't.
I think our listeners at home would prefer for you to answer your Quick D question as Cher.
Nope, never again. You can't recreate a classic moment. You know what I mean?
Do we have a classic moment?
Well, I did. Okay. You were here.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just witness to the classic moment.
You sure were.
Okay.
You sure were. Kale, it's the last Quick D of 2022.
It sure is.
It's the last midnight, if you will.
Look at you. Impressed.
I know things. I know things from Into the Woods.
You know things now?
I know things now. Wow.
That was a moment in the woods.
So many listeners are all like, "Will you please stop talking about Into the Woods?"
I know. I'm sorry.
It's been 4 years, and you will not stop talking
really
about it.
I'm sorry. I really am.
Don't be. Don't you ever apologize for your passions, Kale.
Oh, PK.
Apologize for your behavior instead.
Okay. All right. What's our Quick D question? The last Quick D question of 2022.
before we get into that, do you want to tell the Tweedles at home who may be new to Gaze Through the D what Quick D even is?
Okay, so I'm going to tell the Tweedles at home that he asks me to do this every time. He never likes my answer, so he always ends up explaining it as soon as I'm done. So I don't know why he...
Well, it's not that I don't like your answer. It's that I don't like that you don't know what it is, I think, at this point. I think I don't like your lack of commitment to it.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. I make a commitment to you in front of all of our listeners right now that the next episode I will have done a deep dive into the meaning of Quick D.
Okay. Or another way of saying that is by the next episode, you'll have listened to an episode of Gaze Through the D.
I'm not committing to something that I can't. I will
You know what? That's
deep
fair.
dive into I will do a deep dive into what Quick D is.
Fair enough. What do you think it is, Kale? What might it be?
Okay. All right. Do you remember the film Back to the Future?
All right, let's move on to what Quick D is. I'm not even going to let you go.
Okay.
I'm just going to do your job for you, as per usual. So Quick D is where we are asked a question that we've not been privy to prior to recording, and we answer it off the cuff. And as per our sort of new normal, we are asking all of you, our Tweedles out there, who have written into us some Quick D questions before we recorded tonight.
Yes, that part I do know. I like that we ask our listeners to contribute.
So what do you think I'm asking you when I'm asking you what Quick D is?
I thought we were just always kind of chit-chatting. Like that,
Oh.
I honestly didn't know we were recording like several of them.
Oh, I wish that we weren't.
I kid. I know what Quick D is. Gosh.
But here we are. All right, so let's get into it. Here's our question coming at us from @ADV Parker asking, what would you give your favorite Disney character as a Christmas present?
Ooh.
It's kind of a two-part question, so you have to identify a favorite Disney character.
And a gift. Okay.
And then give them something, you know? I know mine.
Okay,
I know
go
mine
ahead.
already. I'll go first. I'm going to give Figment a better attraction in Epcot.
I like how you read your favorite. Like it was a read. Like
I did. I read Figment for filth.
yeah, you read Figment. Okay.
I sure did. Yeah.
All right, let me think about
And
this.
I mean, deservedly so. Deservedly so. That attraction. Listen, I do go on it every single time, but it is a yawn fest.
No,
for
it
sure.
is definitely a yawn fest. The kids are going to come for me again. I've also never really understood the fascination with Figment, but
Oh, all right.
but I respect that he's your favorite and you love him.
And that'll do it for this episode of Gaze Through the D. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Okay, I would say that I would give Goofy a hug.
Now, is that a gift?
I think that Goofy would love a hug.
Okay, fair enough. He gets a lot of hugs, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'd probably go on a road trip with him and not ruin it.
Oh, if you could give that gift, that would be a really good gift to give.
Yeah.
I feel like.
He would finally have the father-son road trip of his dreams.
Oh, see, now you're hurting on Max, though.
You don't think that there are hardworking Imagineers that built that Figment attraction? That are crying themselves to sleep over you saying you'd give him something better?
I'm going to cry myself to sleep because we didn't do a better Quick D for the end of 2022.
I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
That will do it for this episode of Gaze Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gazedothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gaze Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gazedothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.